And so I think like I said, we had a good meeting. We were just trying to, refocus and prepare for tomorrow night.
We'll go next to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weber.
Thanks, Greg. Good morning, Josh. You always hear about needing to keep an even keel in the playoffs. How do you do that when you have such an emotionally charged event that ends a game?
I think, the key really is, it's about trying to win games. And I think, they scored on the power play, obviously. I feel we have a pretty lethal power play as well. So I think that's important that, you don't want to be putting your team down shorthanded, and in shorthanded situations, playoffs get heated. And I think discipline is a huge element to having success in the playoffs. So I'm sure that's what both teams feel going forward is important. And that's what playoff hockey is. You have to be disciplined and you can't be in the penalty box.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, Josh, just curious what you guys, what you personally expect maybe out of the hearing with Mark today. And, and if it was the shoe on the other foot, what would you guys be calling for?
As far as what I expect out of it, I think, they're going to go through the process they go through, and, that's set out by the league. And, I don't really know what to expect. I think that's, they go through the process. They, from my understanding, talk to sort of both sides and obviously go through the process and collaborate, I guess, and sit down and figure out what they're going to do. So I guess that's really all I can say. I'm not too sure outside of that what I can expect from what goes on, other than, they'll go through the process and figure out what they think they need to do.
We'll go back to Paul Friesen. Go ahead, Paul.
And the follow-up to that was, if the shoe was on the other foot, I guess obviously you guys would feel a lot differently.
Yeah, I think obviously, when you player on your team gets injured and whatnot, obviously you're going to want to protect him, and that's I think that's being a good team and being good teammates. Obviously, it was scary situation, and I think when the trainer signaled for the fist in the air and everything else, it was scary. I have never seen that before in a game, and just kind of felt a really uncomfortable feeling, kind of felt sick to my stomach. And when you see that, you just don't want anyone to be injured like that. But so obviously I think when something like that happens, regardless of the play, you're going to want to, I guess, if you're on his teammate, you're going to want to protect him and stand up for him. So I understand that side of it from their team.
We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Josh, they often say a picture's worth 1,000 words. There's some pictures floating out there of, Mark almost kind of in shock, kind of looking down following the hit. And then, there was the kind of seemed like he was trying to explain himself, maybe even to the other bench. And then there was the video of him in the hallway, kind of looking concerned. Mark, well, what do you think he's going through? I'm not asking you to be a mind reader, but what have you seen from him kind of since then?
Yeah, obviously he's one of my best friends, and I know that he doesn't play the game to, in a vicious manner or anything like that. I know that the last thing he's out there to do is try to hurt somebody, and obviously, like you said, I think the unfortunate result of the hit, and obviously the immediate concern of everybody goes to the safety and health of Jake Evans when he's in obvious distress on the ice. And I think, to be honest, I haven't talked to Mark about it, but those type of things are scary, and scary for everybody involved. And you never want to see a player get be in a situation like that. It's just, it's definitely not something you want to see.
We'll go next to Alexander Gamble from NHL.com. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Josh. Was a pretty slow start to the game last night, or night before that. Do you think that the 8 days of not playing after the sweep against Edmonton was to blame, or do you think it's a general thing of having trouble starting a game?
Yeah, I don't think, I wouldn't say it's a general theme for us. I think that, having that much of a layoff, I don't know the exact record, but oftentimes I think in the past it's hard to sort of get up to that playoff speed right away again. And I thought we did a better job as the game went on, but certainly, I think they sort of rode the high of the Game 7 win and came in and played a really great road game, capitalized on their opportunities and played hard defensively. And that's the template that we know that they're going to stick to. And I think that to answer your question, I think the layoff, it took us a while to get going. I thought, like I said, we got better as the game went on in a lot of areas, and it's a long series, and our focus today is preparing to play tomorrow and improve on some of the things that we need to be a better team in this series.
We'll go next to Jean-Francois Chaumont from the Journal de Montréal. Go ahead, Jean.
Hi, Josh. We don't know the sanction yet, but if you're losing Mark Scheifele, how can you describe a center like Mark, and what will be the impact on your team if you're not playing with him?
Yeah, like you said, until we know what's happening, it's impossible can't speculate on anything. But to describe how much he means to our team, obviously he just had a phenomenal year. He's a great leader in our room. He's produces offensively for our team, and he sort of does it all. And I think this year he's really taken a lot of steps forward in his game and shown that he's amongst the elite players in our league, in my opinion. And so obviously he's a huge part of our team. I think he's our best player, and up front. And I think that's all I can really say. He's a phenomenal player, and he's a massive part of our team.
And final question to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weber.
Josh, how would you describe the impact of losing Dylan DeMello on the first shift of the game yesterday, and what it means for your defense core?
Yeah, it sucks, obviously. Especially that early on in the game, after a long layoff, it's just a tough break. And obviously, I think we've had pretty good chemistry going here, and it's tough to lose a guy that early. It sort of changes everything with how you run your back end. Certainly, now all of a sudden you're playing with 5D and things are moving around a lot more. And certainly the contribution that he's been making to our team here in the playoffs and our pairing and my game as well has been huge. So it definitely it's definitely tough to lose him. But see what happens here, and obviously we'll have to step up. If he's not able to go.